how you feel is just a reflection of how the energy is flowing within your inner organs and systems and energy channels. That is it. That is it. Because when the flow is smooth within you, you naturally feel strong and capable. You feel flexible. You can change plans easily. You don't get bogged down. If there's a problem, you just walk around it, find a solution.
Welcome to the episode of the Sexual Empowerment for Women podcast. Today, I'm super excited to be talking to Miri Tolmie. Welcome, Miri.
Hi, Tarisha. Thanks for having me.
So I'll just introduce you and then we'll dive into it. Today, I really want to talk about the cycles, monthly cycles, menopause, sexuality, pleasure, and as seen through the Chinese medicine as well, right? Because that's what Miri brings. And Miri is a founder of the Women's Happiness Project, and it's an online space for healing and finding joy. And Miri is really good at finding the connection between our physical symptoms and emotions. And I think it's really good that we can talk about it. I know, Miri, you're in New Zealand, I'm in South Island, and it's nice to be able to integrate Chinese medicine with what I do in my work, sexuality. And I'd love to hear this conversation. So I wonder, just to start with, if you can tell us kind of a bit of your background. How did you come? What happened for you that you chose this path?
That's a great question. I actually was just thinking about it in the shower because I thought, oh, you might ask me how I came to do this. I changed my career completely. So I started as a web developer and I was really good at what I was doing, but with the years, I just started feeling really unhappy and unsatisfied with my work and with myself. And I had a lot of unresolved trauma and issues that I needed to go through. And after I quit my job and I gave myself a really long break, it came to me out of nowhere, right? The idea of Chinese medicine. And the funny thing was when I went traveling, but when I went back home and unpacked all my stuff, I found a brochure to the Chinese medicine school
Hmm.
that I didn't remember putting it there. My dad, since I was a little girl, was doing Qigong. He had this master that he was learning from and healing, energetic healing. And so he was doing a lot of that kind of stuff. So I had that in my head, acupuncture, massage, natural healing.
Beautiful. And it's similar because I started as a chartered accountant. And I was like, I couldn't, at one point, it was like, it's not quite satisfying. And that's how then I came to this place. Yeah. So we similar journeys, huh?
So good, right? It's so good when you decide, you know what? It doesn't matter anymore. It has to change.
Hmm.
And that's where everything in my life changed when I decided to listen to what's happening in my symptoms, right? I couldn't sleep. I didn't want to go to sleep. I would stay up late drinking and smoking but I never saw the connection between all the how I felt and then my choices and how I behaved and how I felt and all the similar cycles in my life. But when I made that decision to quit and leave everything behind, like I literally packed everything, I sold my little scooter and I bought a one-way ticket to South America. And I just gave myself time to be. I was very fortunate. I was able to do that. I don't know if everybody has that capacity. But I think even when people do have maybe the financial ability to take a break, they have lots of fear and shoulds. Oh, I should stay
Hmm.
in my career. I was really good at what I was doing, and my career was really like taking me to places that I couldn't even imagine. So the advice that I got was don't leave until you find something else, right? But that's when everything changed for me, including how I felt in my body
Hmm.
and about
Hmm.
myself. And even to your topic, that's when I was finally able to start experiencing more pleasure in so many different areas in my life.
This is so important, Amiri, because that's what I see women quite often. We stay stuck. We feel it's not working, but somehow it feels it's familiar, it's comfortable, And like I know, like I was child at the counter, I was like, yeah, it was easy, but it was so soul crushing. And women get really, they see the way forward, right? Their body tells them, something tells them, but they resist it. This is the most, I find the most difficult step for women to actually take that step and to choose something different because it's scary, it's unknown, it's uncomfortable, and what's going to show up there? So, because that's what I see the difficulty is for women, and they feel that what's there is not working for them. They know something else is possible, but it's in a way comfortable, even though it's painful. It's in a way comfortable, and I see women stay stuck in the relationship that not quite work. They stay stuck because it's almost like, well, I don't know what's on the other side. And what you're talking here about is actually taking that step and trusting yourself. That's what opens up the doors to more possibility, more pleasure, more fulfillment. But it's like, what could you say to a woman who is on the other side, right? She's still like, ooh, this doesn't feel so good. That's not so comfortable, but this is the only thing I know. How can you like to encourage them to actually take this step and to start trusting themselves?
So good. The first thing that I would say to anyone who's listening and feels the fear of stopping whatever is not working is that you deserve to feel good. You deserve to feel good in your job. You deserve to feel good in your career. You deserve to feel amazing in your intimate relationship. You deserve to feel happy in your everyday, not just on special occasions.
Hmm. And so that's the first step, right? That's the recognizing actually, if I'm not happy, there's something I can do about it rather than actually endure. Because women are so good at enduring, huh? I wonder.
What I learned in Chinese medicine
Hmm.
is that how you feel if it's scared, I don't have the confidence. I used to get that comment a lot. Oh, you're so brave. You're so brave to leave your job and just go to the unknown. And then when I moved countries, I lived in different countries. Oh, you're so brave. But what I learned in Chinese medicine is that how you feel, all those emotions are absolutely related to your inner organs and to your general health and well-being. And if there is an emotion that keeps popping up for you, like being scared or lacking the self-confidence, not trusting yourself, not trusting your intuition, when you hear that voice, just leave that job, leave that relationship. You deserve better. Then we can strengthen the part of us that is related to that emotion. So, for example, in Chinese medicine, it's the fear is related to our hormonal system, to our cycle. It's related to what we call your water element. It's the deepest part of you, like your deepest fears and your deepest desires. And it's related to your kidneys in Chinese medicine. And so when you know that I have a lot of fear, then maybe I can strengthen my kidneys in Chinese medicine perspective. And I have this set of tools of how to do it, then I can just focus on that and let the fear slowly take care of itself. And it works almost like magic, right? Oh, I'm not feeling as afraid anymore. So, for example, a very, very simple thing that you can do if you feel a little fear and lack of self-confidence is to gently tap your lower back where your kidneys are. And you take a deep breath and you tap your lower back. And because
I'm invincible.
exactly, because there's this energy that's flowing outside in nature that makes the day flow into night and the seasons flow, and there's always this order, right? There's always this way that the energy is flowing outside of you. And we know that whatever is happening outside is also happening within, then you understand that that flow is happening inside of you. And if you have lots of fear, then that aspect of you is just a bit stuck or low or not flowing as smoothly. Because when everything is flowing smoothly inside your body, you naturally feel happy. You naturally feel smiley. You're easy to laugh. But when that energy inside of you is stuck in some way, you feel like that heavy burden on your shoulders. You feel like you want to close up. Everything feels hard and difficult. It's just a sign of how the energy flows in your body. So if we know that the fear is related to your kidneys and they're located in your lower back, and we can just tap gently on your lower back, that's one tool out of many to help yourself. Because what happens is we get stuck in our head, right? Like women in business, for example, we get stuck in our head in the loop of, I'm not good enough. I don't know what I'm doing. I should be better. I should be doing all these other things. And it's very common to have lack of self-confidence and perfectionism. And then it's like putting a wheel in our stick in our own wheels, right? So what Chinese medicine offers us is to look at it from how it's connected to the whole. It's not a problem that you can only solve by thinking about it. You can solve it by thinking about it and talking about it, but also you can stop banging your head in the wall and go look at it from another perspective. You can move your body. You can move your body in ways that support all your systems, and particularly that system that you know needs a bit of a boost. For example, the kidneys, the water element.
This is so
And that's what,
beautiful. Because it
and
sounds like, yeah.
particularly as women in our 40s, and when things start to shift and change in our body, and it's naturally related, just the natural way that the energy flows in the world and in your body, we can naturally start feeling more depleted in that quote unquote kidney area or water element because of the hormones, because of the relationship with growth and aging to that element. So particularly us women over 40s need to do these practices daily, like tap your lower back daily, right? That's one thing that can really help, not only with fear, but what that kidney and water element in us is also related to how we feel in an intimate relationship, to our desires. If we feel like going into bed or we're not feeling like spending time together, it's all related. It's all in the same harmony of that element within us.
Because this is so beautiful because quite often we feel like I'm scared, right? It means I'm a fearful person. Like I lack confidence, and at the end of it, I need to fix somehow myself. But what you're saying, we actually need to move the energy. And once we move the energy, we find that self-confidence. So it's again coming back more into the body, working with the body, shifting it inside the body, and then letting go of that story, because it's almost like that story keeps us really stuck and we don't even pay attention what's happening in the body. And it really makes sense to me that because I'm quite active, right? And I like mountain biking and swimming. And actually, when I do that, and when people then tell me like, oh, how can you manage so many things? Like, do you procrastinate? And I was like, I don't really have time for that. But it's that movement in the body actually creates, in a way, creates more energy, and it can show up as confidence, but actually it's just the energy flowing in the body, which feels it's easy to accomplish things. But I know sometimes women get
Exactly.
stuck, right? And like what else can women do if they feel real stuck? And I know that quite often what happens, we start blaming our circumstances or our partner, right? It's their
So
fault.
this is,
Yeah.
or our fault, right? I should be more like
Oh,
this and
it's
like
my
that.
fault because this is who I am and I can't shift it. Yes.
So the most important thing, and it's related to what I said before, keep telling yourself you deserve it, right? Because the most important thing is that realization that how you feel, if you feel scared or if you feel like lazy or procrastinating, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. How you feel is just a reflection of how the energy is flowing within your inner organs and systems and energy channels. That is it. That is it. Because when the flow is smooth within you, you naturally feel strong and capable. You feel flexible. You can change plans easily. You don't get bogged down. If there's a problem, you just walk around it, find a solution. Things feel lighter and easier, and it feels natural to wake up in the morning and want to get out of bed and do something. That's the natural way of feeling. So that's the most important thing to understand, is that it's not your fault. And if it's not your fault, then there's no need to blame yourself or your partner. They're not doing enough. They should be better so that I can be better, right? The only thing to focus on practically in your day is making sure that the energy within you is flowing smoothly. So, for example, being active, going for a walk, going for a run, moving your body in any way that feels good to you will help that flow of energy.
That's an important point, how that feels good to you, because sometimes what women do, they use exercises punishing, like I should be doing it, but then it doesn't work as well, huh?
That's a whole nother conversation, right? I should go to the gym and I should be doing kettlebell and I should be oh, I know strength training for my women my age. And we know all the things that are good for us. You should be doing this and you must be doing that. But life is life, and not every day you are going to do the hard things. Not because you're lazy, just because every day the energy is different and you need different things. And I absolutely believe that when you do something, it's how you do it that gives you more benefit. Like if you go to the gym and you hate it, you'll get some benefits from it, right? Like you moved your body, you probably maybe strengthen yourself. But if you go and you're like motivating yourself, you're like, yes, I did it. I'm doing it. Look at me. I said I'll go and I went. And even though I don't like it, I'm doing it because I'm committed to myself and I feel proud of myself. You'll get so much more out of it, right? The energy then starts flowing better in every area, in every system in your body.
Beautiful. I wonder, what can you say for women who, right, go into for menopause, kind of those years like after 40, 50, and they start to feel like I'm losing my sexual desire. And quite often women accept that that's how it is, that because I'm menopausal or because I'm not in my 20s anymore, that's how it should be.
Yeah, isn't that interesting that we accept all
It's
that bullshit?
painful.
And it's the same as we accept PMS or really hard and painful periods. It's the same
Mm,
story, right? We were brought up to believe that once a month we get this sucky time and we have to just whatever, take how many pills that we need and just get over it because it is what it is. That's how it is. Some women are lucky and they get periods that are okay and they can keep going to work. And some people are they're just unlucky. Their mom was like that, their grandma was like that. It's in their genes. And we
mm,
have these stories, like you said, and we believe that that's what it is. So we don't even try to do something.
that's, we don't try,
But
yeah.
we know so much better now. We know so much better. And it's the same story about desire. You don't even have to be in menopause. You can just have a baby, right?
Of course, yes, babies, no.
So there's many stages in your life where you feel differently because something happened. So something shifted in the way that the energy is flowing in your body. For example, if you had a baby, then you're probably a little bit more depleted, right? You lost a little blood, you carried another person, and you don't sleep. So, and then in menopause, other things happen, but the idea is the same idea. So there are some shifts that are happening and you might feel confused or overwhelmed, and there might be new feeling like new emotions like anxiety all of a sudden for women who never had it. And I had my clients tell me, I want to feel like I want him every day. Like, you know how those days that I really want him and they talk about their partner, I want to feel like that every day. And they're really beat up on themselves that there's like 2 weeks in the month that they can't get far enough away. So I remind them that it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's just a reflection of how the energy is flowing in your body. And the only thing to do is to tend to that flow of energy. And there's so many tools. right? Movement is one tool, which I think is one of the most fun and powerful tools, because it's exactly the same conversation that instead of being stuck in our mind, you just move your body, allow that shift of energy to happen
Yeah.
physically in the
Mm.
body. Sometimes we just need to touch ourselves and hug ourselves, right? Sometimes we need a hug from somebody else, but there's something that happens viscerally when we move our body in ways that feel good to you, right? Every day of the month for us women still cycling, right? We need different type of exercise, different types of stretching will feel different to you at different times. For example, I can feel super flexible when I go to a yoga class now, but I wake up tomorrow morning and I'll try to do the same and I'll be like, what happened? I'm not flexible at all. It's because I just woke up from a sleep. My body is a little bit more stiff. Maybe it's cold, right? Because we wake up in New Zealand, it's colder, even in the summertime. So all these things affect everything within you. And so I just need to not judge myself. Oh, I'm not flexible. I'm not good enough. I should not stretch again.
But coming back to
Yeah,
the sexual desire, right? So if women like, okay, it's not flowing, what can they do? Like, where can they start?
I love that question. I love to look at it as desire and satisfaction in every part and everything that you do in the day. If you make yourself a really, let's say that you're a coffee person and you make yourself a cup of coffee and you start with the smell and you're like, oh, that smells
You
so good.
must be a
And you,
coffee person.
yeah, I know, who's not? But you allow yourself to enjoy that through
Hmm.
all your senses. You smell it, you taste it, you really take a mindful moment. It comes back to mindfulness,
Hmm.
right? Take a moment to take it in, take the experience of what you're consuming and let yourself enjoy it. Let yourself take a moment. I like to sit outside on our balcony and have my cup of tea in the morning instead of when I just had it on the go when I was making lunch boxes, right? It just changed it completely. So it's like a
Taking time for
train.
yourself, huh? Really slowing it down, taking time for pleasure in whatever forms it comes.
Exactly. And I found that that was really helpful for me because it shifted my focus and my awareness of I want to enjoy the things that I'm doing. I want to enjoy an intimate hug with my husband, even if it's just a hug, it's not going anywhere else, but to really enjoy it, to really take it in. I think that we forget sometimes as women that our desire and our ability to enjoy our experiences and receive pleasure is in the receiving. We forget that in Chinese medicine, we talk about the yin and the yang, and they have different, and even though we have both of them within us,
Hmm.
but like every season, you have the stronger type of energy. So the yin and the yang is like the male and the female, right? And if you look at that little picture of the fish, the white fish and the black,
Yeah.
they're always moving from one to another. So we need both of them. And inside of them, inside the one, there's the black dot, and inside the black, there's the white dot. So we always have both aspects. But generally speaking, as women, not our job, we were created in this manner, right? In this way that our desire stems from receiving. As women, as moms, as partners, we get so caught up in the giving and nourishing and always making sure that they are feeling good, that they are fed, that they have what they need. And we always give, give, give. That's a really young energy. The yin
And of
energy,
course, we
which is
don't have the desire.
the female energy, is to receive and then take that what she received and turn that into something magnificent, like create a tree out of it, right? Create a human out of it. That's the part of the creativity that we have. So, and I think when quote unquote lose our desire, what we can do practically is to remind ourselves that it's about the receiving. How am I willing to allow myself to receive some love today? And it could be any form, any shape. It could be the cup of coffee, right? And I'm receiving this moment, and this person said this really nice compliment for me, and not brushing it off. And oh, this shirt, oh no, I just bought it at the, oh, right, we just brush off compliments. So just practicing your nature of being a receiver. And if your partner wants to give you a hug, you don't have to in your head just take the whole picture. Oh, it's going that way and I don't want to be there. I don't have no desire, so I won't even accept that hug, because that's what we do. We just put a wall there. Just allow it. So be clear with your intentions, right? And just say, that's what I want and I don't want anything else. But then receive that form of love. And I think that practicing that will just open up your curiosity, right? And your desire.
Because that's what I can see. It's what I see in women. Like we really need to open up, and then the open up to pleasure, to love, and then the desire comes up. But as you right, it's like with yin yang. It's like when I'm always active, I don't have the space to open up my body, and my body. Women bodies get quite tense, and when we're tense, of course, there is no pleasure. And I wonder, is there with if we talk about the Chinese medicine a bit and sexual desire, like how, what are the organs, like how does it relate? What practically women can do?
Well, first, let's think about, why do we contract and we don't want to receive? Because we have fear a lot of the time, right? And it can be fear of a lot of different things.
Right? Like, and that's what I've just been sitting with the fear, and it's actually the fear of death. It seems like at the bottom of it all, but there's the fear of being hurt, the fear of being rejected.
Of being disappointed, of disappointing myself, being the one who disappoints someone else. We don't want to go there, and then don't want to blame and shame ourselves for disappointing somebody else. So that contraction is happening because the flow of the energy is not smooth, right? So there are many, many ways to practically practice that, right? If we go back to the water element in your kidneys and how it's related to fear and desire, other than the tapping on your lower back,
So is it just, so you're saying it all relates to kidneys more than anything else, any other organs?
well, everything is always related to everything. And there's always aspects of, it's like the yin and the yang, they're inside of each other.
Yeah.
When we look at the element theory, and water is one of the elements, we can find the other elements inside of it as well. And then we have our own tendencies. Well, I was born, I was always more timid, and my friend was always an outgoing person. So we do have our own personal preferences and how personalities, right? But it's very related to the water element and the kidneys, because it's related to our deepest part of us, which is also related to our DNA and growth and
So this movement, huh?
just the fear and the desire.
Yeah.
There, right? And it's very deep. Like when we talk about intimate relationship, it's the deepest experience in life. That type of, when you really are able to soothe that contraction and to let yourself relax. And it's about relaxing and putting the fear to the side and allowing yourself to be the receiver, to trust that it's love that's coming your way, to trust that it's not going to hurt you, to trust that you can put your own boundaries where you, right? So there's a lot of trust going on there. What I wanted to say is, going back to what we can do practically, that not only the back, tapping on the back, but moving your hips. So we always do, in my community, we always do hip circles, all the time, every day. Every time you check your phone, do your dishes, lots of hip circles, like doing the shape, the H shape with your hips. That will release a lot of the energy pathways that are related to your sexuality, your desires, your fear, your menopause issues. It's not only the kidneys, it's also the liver. There's never just one thing, never one solution,
Relates.
right? It's a whole. But moving your hips is one of the most practical things that help with desire, because but like you said, we tend to hold
Mm.
and we don't open up. We tend to keep that tension in our hips. A lot of tension we keep in our hips, and it's also we can
In the
feel it.
jaw, yeah.
They're very connected, right? So there's practical ways that we can just consciously just take one moment and release the jaw, release the hips, and just constantly bring movement to that area constantly.
Mm. Are there any foods? Like, is there anything, is it more the temperature that more warm, or are there any foods that can help if we hold that?
That's such a good question. So every element and every system in your body have its own preferred temperature and its own preferred flavor and types of foods. Generally speaking, the water element, think about the depth of the ocean. It's dark and it's cold. So if you are showing signs in your body, in your physical body, of cold, and like you always have cold hands and feet, like you always have to wear 10 jumpers, like when you eat something cold, you actually feel really exhausted afterwards. Like you can enjoy the ice cream, but then you need a break. You need to rest after that. So if you have cold types symptoms, then it will be beneficent to heat yourself up. Well, if you're feeling cold, like you don't have desire and you think that it's because you want to heat,
Mm. That's the
you
fire.
go to
Yeah.
fire, so you introduce the fire, exactly, right? So you bring something hot, like there's different foods like ginger, right? Like pepper, even. That's something that is easy to find, but the thing is to really spend time mindfully. What is it that I'm feeling? Am I feeling too hot or am I feeling too cold? Do I feel like I need to warm myself up? And so you can do it with movement, you can do it with food, you can do it with beverages, you can do it with herbs, you can do it with meditation, right? There's many tools. You can do it with acupressure, pressure points. If you don't want to go and get acupuncture, just give yourself a massage, a self massage. And then in this, in the acupressure points that relates to your kidneys, for example. So we talked about the lower back. You can massage your lower back, the back of your knees and your feet are very related as well. So for example, introducing your nighttime routine where just before bed, you even sitting on your bed, you're just ready to go to sleep and you rub your feet for 1 minute. It will really affect your hormonal symptoms, your fear, your self-confidence, your desire, because there's a very distinct correlation between your feet and the kidneys and also other elements. But it's an easy, practical thing to do that we just don't think about because we don't see the relationship between them.
It's so amazing because for me, feet touching, if my feet, like my lava touches my feet, it's like, it just like really awakens my whole body. Just it's the best feeling.
It does awaken your whole body because it touches points that are related to every system in your body. So it's a very beneficial thing to do regularly. Feet reflexology is
Oh, that's
healing
the
for
best for me. It's like, oh,
so ears are the same. So ears are also connect to the kidneys, and the ear, there's ear reflexology in Chinese medicine as well. There's over 300 points on each ear, and you just massage your ear like this. It took 30 seconds, and you just
and moves that
benefited.
energy, huh?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you,
And
Miriam.
when
This
it
is,
passes your ears, you feel hot. It actually, you
yeah,
feel
it's the energy.
the warmth coming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I wonder, as we complete, I wonder, is there anything, if you feel into the women, yeah, who are feeling stuck and now listening to us, are like maybe something more is possible for me. Like, what can you tell them? What would be your kind of last message for them?
Everything is possible. Everything is possible for you. I think with a little bit of mindfulness and awareness to how you feel and how different things that you do in the day make you feel. Like after I eat this thing, I feel that way. After I watch this show, I feel that way. For my husband, for example, if he eats like snacks or like treats, you can tell he's way more grumpy after, and he's not a grumpy person. He's like the most calm person. But we found that correlations. We were like, what is happening? Why? It's like, oh, I had chips, and he's less patient. So just a little bit of mindfulness and awareness to how you feel before you consume something, anything through all your senses,
Mm,
and how you feel during and how you feel after will give you so many clues to what you actually need. And when you know that, then it's easy to find how to give it to yourself.
mm. Beautiful. It's like we're affected by everything, yeah? And just recognizing it and that it's not that there's nothing wrong with me. It's just I've been affected by things and I can change.
Yeah, and I choose to do things that affect me in the way that I want to be affected. That was
Mm,
the biggest thing that
mm,
blew my mind, that I can choose to do something that will affect me in a way that I want to be affected.
mm.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's my choice. Yeah, rather than, okay, that happened in the past, this is my circumstance and I can't change anything because that's the stuck position. But actually, no, I've got quite a lot of power. And I always tell like women, like the power is in our hands. We can change things, but we need to recognize it that actually I can do that. Beautiful. Like I just want to really stand up now and do my hips and do
Yeah.
the tipping. I never done the tipping. I do the hips all the time. But that's, yeah, thank you, because it's some really practical ways of how we can start shifting the energy. Huh? And I wonder, how can women find you if they want to, like, what kind of, do you work one-on-one with people? We can tell a little bit more about, yeah, what you can do for women.
Yeah, I would love to invite you to check out project.com and join
Like,
our free Facebook community where I share lots of tips from Chinese medicine and the five elements, very practical things, just because that's how I roll. I
mm,
love the stuff, but if it's not something that I can do today to help myself, I just don't see the point. So I'm very practical. So you're welcome to join our free Facebook group. And if you are feeling stuck and you're ready to use those tools and to really uplift your spirit and make a change in that flow of energy inside of you so that you finally feel free and proud of yourself and just happy in how you are. Know that you don't have to change to love yourself. You just make a change in how the energy flows. Then I would love to welcome you to have a 15-minute call with me. All the details are on the website, womenshappinessproject.com. And I can share with you how I take my women from a journey through the five elements where you get to harmonize every element of yourself, not only the kidneys and the water element, but the liver and the wood element and the fire and all the elements because it all affects each other, right? We even affect each other. So we never just fix one thing. We harmonize how the energy flows within you so that you naturally feel happy.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Miri. And thank you, listeners, for being here with us. And yeah, keep on posting your questions and just find Miri on her Facebook page. And I'll put the links in the show notes for you to check out. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dorisha.
Bye.